Hello, good evening.
You know, a lot of people say, Garth Marenghi, isn't he the guy who writes all that horror crap? Well, good luck to you, you're an idiot, because my books always say something. Even if it's just something simple like, don't genetically engineer crabs to be as big as men. There's always a message or a theme.
Hey, Huples. Still raining, mate.
I'm going to have to face them.
I'm coming with you, Dad.
No, you're not, Sanj.
Fair enough.
My brother told me to watch his chicken nuggets for a minute so no one eats them. But when someone gets nuggets, it's hard not to try one.
Now get 5 all-white meat Wendy's chicken nuggets for 99 cents.
Who ate my nuggets? Steve Thomas.
Oh, writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards. OK? What I was asking in that scene is, what if politicians continue to pay doctors peanuts? Could they literally turn into monkeys? And no one's asked that before.
Soon, the galaxy premiere of Star Trek, rocketing in on NBC Week. The first adult space adventure blasts off Thursday, September 15th.
Would you like some of my fries?
Oh, yeah, thanks. I kind of ate all mine already. Hey, would you like a napkin? I got a couple here, really.
No, thanks. I'm fine.
Great. Gee, it's getting kind of late, huh?
Yeah.
I really had a great time tonight.
Me too.
I guess I better get going, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Sue-Ann?
Huh?
Nothing. Night.
Chucky.
Yeah?
You deserve a break today.
Thanks for dinner.
And nobody makes your day like McDonald's can.
You and he were buddies, weren't you? Very, very short line, but it meant so much, you see. And your sort of current young 23-year-old TV actor would probably read that in the cab on the way to the job. That would be the first time he'd have actually seen that, I think. Got on set, stood against his opposite, waited for, I don't know, probably a second to make sure that the camera was back on him or whatever, and then would give you a reading of, you and he were buddies, weren't you? Looking at him. Which is always a very, very selfish way to act, but it's what I see every day now. You and he were buddies, weren't you? Sort of thing, as opposed to possibly looking at the door, which I believe the scene was, looking back at him, back at the door. You and he were buddies, weren't you? Need I say more? Need I say more?
you were an Instagram influencer, this would be just perfect for you.
I still can be.
Oh no, no!
No!
I thought it was boy.
Outcasts. That's all they see. I want to leave my home planet. I hate my parents. Let's go grab some pizza. And then I'll emotionally disappoint you and you break up with me and then I blame it all on you in a song. Outcasts, that's all they see. They all hate me. Yeah. How was that? Was that kind of cool? I'm putting that on my next album.
I love the smell of dead whales in the morning.
You've got a very funny anecdote about your first pet.
I used to take him for walks up the road, and I used to let him off the leash. And he'd run into the mud, and he'd get muddy, and he'd get dirty, and he'd be barking, and I'd have only just cleaned him earlier, you know. And he'd come back, and he'd be stinking, right, because he'd been rolling in God knows what, probably cow turd, something like that. And I remember one day he came bounding back, and I said, "Get away, I'm not getting near you." And I ducked out the way, and he tried to hump a child. And we nearly had him put down.
Californians, why are you moving to Texas? I wanted to live in a place where things like faith and America aren't just words, but words that get repeated a lot. Immigration is a serious threat to our country, and I just wasn't comfortable raising my family in a state that shares a border with Mexico. My wife and I are starting a family, and for what we paid for a studio apartment in California, we gained dominion over all of Houston. At least one part of my California home has been on fire since June 2019, so I'll move pretty much anywhere at this point. I actually move states and change my name once every 3 months for reasons I can't really get into right now. Too many letters in California. I've always lived in Texas. I was just in California getting an abortion.
It's one animal that I don't need to sneak up on. Boo! This extraordinary creature is half blind, half deaf, and this is just about as fast as it can move. It is Joe Biden. It's not exactly an enthusiastic leaf eater. A couple of half-hearted chews, and the leaves go straight down to its stomach. Leaves, however, are not easily digested.
How would long-dead Scottish warriors trapped in the mist come so far south?
To kill the Queen, and then destroy our way of life.
It was bullshit.
That's
bananas.
The guy.
Well, who's the guy? Who's the guy?
Guy at the thing, at the in the castle.
The
I
castle
delivered...
in Hollywood?
Yes.
Was this guy with other people that had very similar looking shirts with a vaguely nautical theme?
Yes.
Rusty,
it was like I was like, are you sailors?
No, these people are Scientologists, Rusty. You don't want to get involved in that stuff.
I don't know what that is.
I'll tell you what it is. It's basically a cult. I think it's fair to say it's a cult. And they don't like psychiatry. And
no, they don't
and I
like
think
it.
there's a reason they don't like psychiatry.
Right.
It's because people who think for themselves are not good for cults.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I left the Manson family.
Well, that wasn't a cult though. That was a family.
Oh, it was a family when I was there, and we were dedicated to music. And then I left and things went. I left and things went to hell.
Mercy killing. What was all that about?
When we look up into the night skies, all we see is absence and silence. But could our galaxy be a dark forest full of hidden predators waiting to consume us?
Matt Damon has been forced to sell his kidneys after losing everything in a crypto pump and dump scheme. The actor reportedly lost everything after a friend's tip guaranteed that diarrhea coin was a surefire thing. And now, just a week after trying to sell his own blood, the debt-ridden actor said he had to sell his kidneys too, telling acquaintances that his loan shark was going to, quote, fucking kill him if he didn't pay back the millions he owes. The only consolation? Matt Damon's kidneys are now on the market for only $55,000 each, so you better buy them up quick.
There were lines outside of men's restrooms. And people were trying to figure out what's going on. Like, articles were written about it, journalists were trying to figure it out, and finally one person figured it out. The reason is because for the first time ever, a majority of men were washing their hands. And it was creating lines for the first time, and it blew my mind, because my whole life I've looked at the women's restroom and thought some terrible things. I have thought things like, yeah, maybe we deserve 70 cents on the dollar. Like, if we can't get this together, you know, we're away from our desks for longer. And I would try to figure out, like what is it? Why can't we get this together? Is it are men faster because they can just unzip and flop their out, and we have to like pull them down and then pull them back up, or if we're wearing Spanx, like pull them down and then pull them back up? Or like I would go to concerts and I would hear guys sort of smugly walk by the women's restrooms and say things like God, what do women even do in there? And I would think, like, yeah, what do we do in there? Wash our hands, apparently. That's it. Our lines weren't too long. Your lines were too short. We've just been at the sink singing happy birthday for generations.
If we lose our sense of humour in this place, we might as well kill ourselves.
He's right, Sant. One of the main reasons I went into medicine was for the laughs. That and the pussy. And that dried up 10 years ago, if you'll pardon the expression.
Yeah, well, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Love you all. Toodles from me and Wolfie.